I was raised to believe we run this place. Cities, roads, fences, lines drawn with confidence, stamped with ownership. We buy land, name mountains, file papers that say mine. It's a tidy story, but step far enough from the noise and the story changes. There are places that do not bend to us. They don't resist, not exactly. They just don't care. The wind keeps its own calendar, the stone keeps its own silence, and the scale of it all resizes you without asking. Some places don't welcome us. They simply ignore us. You feel it in your bones, the way sound disappears, the way horizons refuse to come closer. The earth doesn't adapt to humans here. Humans adapt or leave. Stand there long enough and ownership starts to sound like a punchline. Your name, your plans, your deadlines, they shrink like footprints filling with tide. You become a visitor and the place remains exactly what it has always been. It isn't hostile. Hostility would require attention. This is indifference. A cold shoulder older than our languages, older than our gods, older than the first spark we called fire. Silence has gravity in these places. It pulls the voice out of you, slows your breath, widens your eyes. Age sits in the air like weather, and you feel time, not as a clock, but as a cliff you're standing beneath. We tell ourselves we've conquered nature, but sometimes, if we're honest, we're just tolerated, allowed for a moment to pass through. This is a list of those thresholds. 10 places where the human story is a footnote, where the map is large and we are small, where awe is not optional. We walk here, but we do not rule. Step lightly, speak softly, remember what you are, a brief visitor with open eyes, and let the earth remain what it is.
Antarctica, a continent that does not speak our language. Only wind, only ice, only light. I am allowed here, but I do not belong. The map calls it the end of the world. Yet standing here feels like the beginning of time. No country owns this place. No ancestors claim it. It is signed in ink and ice, governed by treaties, not flags. I breathe, and the air arrives like glass. Here, human life is borrowed time. Without the warmth, I carry on my back. Without the shelter, I build against the storm. I have hours, maybe less. Every step negotiates with a cold that does not forgive. The horizon is a sentence without a period. Endless ice. Blue folding into blue. Mountains rise like the bones of the planet, stripped of noise, stripped of hurry. The sun circles and the clock forgets its purpose. In the distance, a station clings to the whiteness. Small, bright, almost fragile. It hums with electricity and resolve, an ember against indifference. We measure. We record. We ask. Antarctica answers with wind over silence. At the sea edge, glaciers groan, ice remembering oceans older than our names. A penguin path writes a story we cannot.
Number 2, the Sahara Desert, a place that outlasts civilizations, a continent of sand and wind and deep time. Sand speaks in motions too small for us to hear. Time here is so vast it shrinks me to a footnote. Out here, I am allowed to pass, but I do not belong. A single set of tracks cuts a line, and the dune erases it. The wind writes a new surface every hour, every minute. Roads disappear, landmarks vanish, maps age faster than memories. I walk a ridge that looks endless from the sky, a blade between two oceans of gold. Heat haze draws the far world close, then lets it slip away. In this light, minutes feel like centuries. We measure distance. The desert measures patience. Civilizations rose on the edges of this desert. They carved stories into rock and memory. They built trade beneath a map of stars. The Sahara swallowed many of them. Cities became whispers, roots faded to rumor. A human here is only a moving shadow. My steps announce certainty. The wind negotiates them away. Even the sound is reluctant. A low hiss of grain on grain, a dune quietly shifting its weight. I try to fix a point, a tree, a ridge, a distant escarpment, and the air bends it. The map in my head changes as quickly as the ground beneath my feet. I am not lost exactly, only reminded that ownership is a story this place does not speak. Out here, I am a visitor. The open ocean takes up nearly 70% of Earth, and it gives nothing away for free. Every breath I take is borrowed from a world that begins and ends at the surface. Below that line, survival is a machine's job, not mine. I float, I don't belong. Steel hulls groan, instruments hum, and still the sea reminds me, gently at first, who's in charge. Swells rise like moving mountains, and a ship that felt enormous at port becomes a speck, a heartbeat on a vast blue chest. Most of this place remains unexplored, black, cold and quiet, mapped more by imagination than by light. We have names for currents, gyres, trenches, ridges, but names are not ownership. They're breadcrumbs in a cathedral we don't understand. By day, the horizon is a perfect lie, simple, clean, endless. By night, the ocean becomes a mirror turned inward. No landmarks, no roads, only stars and a clock in my head. Navigation here is trust. Trust in numbers, trust in experience, trust that the next wave won't be the one that reminds me I've overstayed. Storms don't negotiate. They lift and drop thousands of tons like toys, erase plans, and rewrite humility. Even in calm, the ocean is busy, tides pulling, life migrating, pressure building over miles of water I will never touch. I am allowed here, briefly to cross, to fish, to study, to wonder. But permission isn't belonging. When the engines stop and the wind falls, there's a silence that isn't empty. It's a boundary. It says, remember where you came from. So I do. I pass through, grateful, small, and unclaimed. The ocean keeps its secrets, and I keep my distance. Amazon, rainforest, a world that doesn't need me. From above, the canopy is an ocean, endless, breathing, indifferent. I arrive as a visitor, not an owner. Mist hangs like memory. Rain taps the leaves, steady as a heartbeat. Wings chirps, a distant howl. Branches shift with lives unseen. Here I'm noticed, not welcomed, watched, surrounded. Small, roots knit the earth, quiet architecture. Water and secrets pass tree to tree. A city older than my maps. Self-sustaining, self-repairing, uninterested in my plans. The forest doesn't welcome cities. It dissolves them. A wall swallowed by vines. A staircase to nowhere. Steps softened by moss. Stone to soil. Corners rounded by time, leaf, rain. Nature reclaims faster than we imagine. And it doesn't ask permission. The scale humbles me. Rivers move like muscle through green. Clouds drag their shadows across lifetimes. My voice feels loud here, so I let it quiet. I listen. There's a clarity in that. I'm allowed here for a moment, under these branches, this weather, but I do not belong. Humidity, hunger, patience, light. When I leave, nothing will miss me. The mist will lift, the rain will fall. Insects will write the dark. By morning, my footprints are forgotten. I step into the Himalayan high altitudes, where the world rises beyond reason and I become very small. Up here, even air has rules I cannot bargain with. Each breath is permission, never a right. My breath becomes a ration, measured in patience and humility. Every inhale is work, every exhale a reminder that I am tolerated here, not welcomed. The mountains do not move for me, they do not notice me. They were ancient before my first ancestor dared to name them. Snow ridges carry the scars of arguments with winter, older than any story I can tell. Glaciers carve lines older than language, sentences written in cold and pressure. Look long enough and the mind quiets. The horizon teaches silence. Climbers shrink to ink dots on a white page. The scale resets the heart. I am not large. I am not central. I am a temporary note in a timeless score. Below me, clouds drift like slow rivers. I walk above weather I cannot predict. Up here, weakness is honest. Legs beg, lungs burn, and pride loses weight quickly. I trade it for caution, for rhythm, for small victories counted in 50 careful steps. People bring flags, cameras, promises. The mountain accepts them without reply. Ladders freeze in place. Ropes are chewed by wind. Bottles turn to relics. The mountain keeps what it wants. Silence carries a low roar, the hidden grind of ice, and the wind argues endlessly with stone. I listen. Awe blooms. In thin air, life is a flicker, and that flicker feels holy. I am allowed here briefly. I do not belong, so I turn back, grateful, returning to the earth below and to the breath I will earn again, while the peak remains indifferent and immaculate, writing its own weather, keeping... Number 6, deep caves, the underground world that ignores the surface. We are allowed here, but we do not belong. Places where darkness is the default and light arrives as a visitor. Son Dung in Vietnam, a cathedral of limestone that swallows breath and thought. I step in with a beam on my helmet, a portable dawn for a world that never asked for one. It feels like I carry a tiny sun into a universe older than memory. The air changes, heavier, older, mineral thick. The cave considers every sound, sending echoes back slowly, as if thinking it over. Down here, nothing bends to me. Rivers fold into black halls. Ceilings become night. Boulders lie like tossed gravel from a planet-sized hand. My eyes are useless without electricity. My sense of time unthreads. Nika in Mexico is harsher. Giant crystals erupt like swords. Rooms so hot and wet the air itself becomes a threat. Without cooling, 10 minutes, and the body fails. These chambers reject our comfort, our safety, our ideas of glory. They exist on terms older than mammals. Every footstep is borrowed while rock writes in drip and pressure. I am a footnote flickering on a page that took centuries to dry. Beyond my beam, the world continues, indifferent. Active volcano zones where the ground is still deciding what it wants to be. Land still being created, written hot onto the planet's edge. Number 8, on places where humans feel like visitors, not owners. I stand at the margin of the Earth's handwriting. Fresh lines glow in molten orange, still soft enough to take a thumbprint. The crust breathes, cracks, and remakes itself, indifferent to my footsteps. Humans build, volcanoes erase, roads buckle, fences vanish, plans dissolve. Maps grow out of date between sunrise and nightfall. The ground I trust today may not exist tomorrow. Listen, a distant rumble, a subterranean heartbeat. Steam lifts from black rock like ghosts, warm, mineral, ancient. Vents whisper chemicals from the planet's lungs. Every exhale redraws the horizon. By day, the lava is a river of mirrors, slow as thought, heavy as time. By night, it is a confession, the glow you can feel on your skin. An alphabet of fire, spelling change one letter at a time. Here, ownership is a story we tell ourselves. The earth does not listen. It writes. I read. I measure distance in safe steps and seconds, not meters. Rocks that cooled yesterday fracture today. What looks solid is a rumor. A tree line holds, then surrenders. A coastline extends a few stubborn meters, hisses, collapses, and is reborn. There is danger in every direction. Toxic gases, falling ash, blades of glass riding the wind. We are visitors. We do not belong. And still, for a moment, the earth lets us witness the sentence as it is being written. Number 8. The Arctic tundra. A horizon with no promises. Just a flat, frozen thought stretching to the edge of sight. I step into air so cold it bites before it burns. The sun hangs low, a pale coin skimming the rim of the world, refusing to climb. Here, life presses the pause button. For months, nothing grows, not a leaf, not a blade, only patience. Listen. The loudest thing is silence. Wind combs the snow into waves, then slips away as if embarrassed by the noise it made. Even my breath feels like an intrusion, a cloud that does not belong in a sky this clean. People pass through, yes. Scientists measuring ice and time. Hunters reading tracks older than any map. Pilots landing on runways drawn in pencil and wind. But presence here is seasonal, conditional, granted not owned. In a place this unforgiving, survival is an equation with no spare variables. Every layer matters, every calorie matters. A glove unbuttoned is a plan undone. Precision is not habit, it is permission to stay. Beneath the crust, the ground is locked, permafrost, holding stories in a cold grip. When it thaws briefly, the land exhales into bog and bloom, then seals itself again. The year breathes once, the tundra is honest. It tells you immediately what you are: warm-blooded, soft, temporary. Out here, I feel like a visitor at the edge of an old cathedral, small, humbled, aware of my echo. Snow lifts, drifts, settles, the sun tilts, then slides away. And in that long blue hour, I understand. I'm allowed here. I do not belong, not as owner, only as witness. We are allowed here, but we do not belong. Number 9. Ancient forests, redwoods, Yakushima, places older than memory, where scale resets the soul. We are allowed here, but we do not belong. I step beneath trunks that feel like pillars holding up the sky. Light filters down in thin, holy beams, and the air tastes like rain and time. Here I am small on purpose. The redwoods rise in patient silence. Rings stacked like archives, centuries layered, meticulously kept. They have stood through storms and fires and forgotten summers. On Yakushima, the yakusugi twist with centuries, time braided into wood, bark thick as history itself. I place my hand on living wood older than my language. These forests watched empires draw borders that faded like mist. Ships, railways, radios, satellites. Names the canopy never learned. They did not hurry for any of it. My steps crunch softly, loud enough to remind me I am passing through. Every path here is a guest pass. The moss does not know my name, it does not need to. The ravens do not need my story. Look up, needles of light, a roof of leaves like a cathedral. Between the branches, time feels vertical, not linear. I am not walking forward, I am walking beneath. I want to belong, but these places are older than belonging. Shelter without permission, meaning without explanation. The wind moves slow and deliberate. Water folds over stones that have seen more dawns than any diary. When I leave, nothing changes. The trees keep their counsel. The rings keep counting. In places older than memory, I do not plant flags. I lower my voice. I say thank you. And the edge of the map feels different. Tristan da Cunha. The end of human reach. A village breathing under cliffs and wind. Kerguelen Archipelago. Out here on remote islands, I am a guest, not a proprietor. Cliffs rise like quiet verdicts. The wind comes first, carrying salt and distance. The ocean, endless and indifferent, shouldering the horizon. Between them, a handful of roofs, a thin line of road, a harbor that measures courage in weather windows. Days from help. That phrase lives in the bones here. Ships arrive when seas allow. Planes do not bother with promises. If a lamp breaks, you mend it. If the sea says wait, you wait. Nature sets the rules. Earn your place or go. I walk past stone walls stitched against the wind, past gardens tied down with rope, faces that know the ocean's moods like a calendar. Life is scaled to tides, to seasons, to the brief hush between squalls. Isolation does not harden the world, it clarifies it. Every loaf, every battery, every shared task becomes a thread in a fragile net we keep weaving together. I think back to where we've been. Antarctica's unclaimed white, too pure for borders. The Sahara swallowing roads and stories. The open ocean, 70% of Earth, moving on without our permission. The Amazon, a self-sustaining empire that never asked for a king. The Himalayas, where the air itself rejects our certainty. Deep caves, a dark world that erases our need for clocks. Volcanoes, Earth's creative fire, reminding us that land is borrowed, not bought. The Arctic tundra, a great silence that measures time in ice. Ancient forests, older than memory, keeping their own counsel. Remote islands, edges of reach where arrivals feel like questions. In all of them, one truth keeps returning. The Earth doesn't belong to us. We are tolerated, occasionally sheltered, often corrected. We arrive, we observe, we leave. Footprints fade. Names wear off the map. I used to think mastery was the point. Now I think humility is. To stand small beneath a sky that does not know me and feel grateful anyway. To accept that every safe harbor is temporary, every summit alone, every moment a gift. We are visitors passing through Earth's long story, pages between storms, pauses between tides. And maybe that's exactly how it should be, because belonging is not ownership, it's attention. It's care without claim. It's leaving places quieter than we found them, and people gentler than we met them. If this made you feel small, share it. If it made you feel grateful, subscribe. And if you know a place where humans feel like visitors, tell us. Walk softly, look longer, and when it's time to go, leave space for wonder to remain.